Hey, this is Steve, Concealed Carry Coach. Thank you for the referrals. Really appreciate them. And thank you for that 16-hour course, our beginner's course, and our 3-hour renewal course. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Castle Doctrine, because I just want to remind you that Castle Doctrine in the state of Illinois says an individual is under no legal duty to retreat if threatened within the home, and deadly force is justified. So, what does that mean? Well, there's a difference between force and deadly force, okay? Force is to the extent that you believe it's reasonable that you can conduct and necessary to defend yourself against someone other than imminent use of unlawful force. So, again, why do we need lawyers? Because this stuff gets confusing. However, the person is justified to use legal force if the intent was likely to cause death or bodily harm. So, and only if they reasonably believe that such force is going to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm. Or they can use force, deadly force, if it's in the commission of a forcible felony. So, never can you be the aggressor. When you're the aggressor using justified or using force, then this kind of goes out the window. That's when they turn it all around on you, okay? So you're always the victim. So the key words here, the key things, reasonably believe, right? Reasonably believe means would a reasonable person do what you did in the same situation, knowing what you knew at the time you knew it, and come to the same conclusion you did. I had to use the gun. It wasn't necessary. Another one, necessary. Could you have safely taken another action that other than using force when faced with this threat? Like, could you evade? Could you exit stage left? Could you have run away? Could you have talked your way out of it? De-escalate the problem. Just talk your way out of it, and shake up that bad guy. Now, sometimes he can, and sometimes he can't. Imminent, is it immediate and otherwise unavoidable? One cannot use force against a perceived or future threat. Okay, like they could have done this. Nope, it's imminent. They are going to do it. It's unavoidable. That's why we need lawyers to prove this stuff. And could it cause great bodily harm? In Illinois, great bodily harm is defined as disfigurement, yuck, scarring, broken bones. They're all used to justify this term, rulings that are based on the appellate courts. So, we learned a lot today about some words, about force, and about deadly force. Remember that force is something that, like guys, even girls, we need to fight, or we need to use whatever we can before we pull that gun. Sometimes that's not reasonable, right? We need to prevent and terminate this person. Like if they're coming to our house, we got to use force. We got to prevent unlawful entry or attack into the dwelling. However, if it's justified for deadly force, it has to follow criteria, right? The entry attempt is violent. It's riotous. It's tumultuous. They're coming in, and the person reasonably believes that this force is necessary to prevent an assault. Assault on who? Well, anybody pretty much in the dwelling that can get hurt, and you reasonably believe that such force is necessary to prevent the commission of a felony in the dwelling. Okay? So, kind of like shooting somebody in the doorway or fighting right by the door, all of this stuff counts. And that's your estate, your spouse, your family member, such as a person, or somebody that kind of is in your estate, unless the use of force involves willful misconduct. Can you justify force? Yes. Illinois defines a dwelling as even a tent or a vehicle It's an enclosed space that somebody uses for human habitation, home, residence, whatever. That's all counted. Your RVs counted in there. That's all reasonable dwellings. So remember, these people have to be intended to likely cause death or great bodily harm. That's when the different force from regular force to deadly force, we see the difference there. And remember, you can't be that aggressor. You are always the victim. We talked about that in class. You're always, always, always the victim. Okay? Physical contact and from an assailant, that always gets, that question always comes up. And that's really another one why we need good lawyers, why we need USCCA lawyers, why we need to call Bobby, because you got 3 guys coming at you. What's reasonable for the circumstances for a male against 3 guys is different than a female. So the court and the jury may look at that very different. Hey, maybe it was a guy, but he's holding the door because he's got kids in there, or he's holding his kids back, or he's holding his dog back. I don't know. If your dog goes to bite somebody and it bites somebody, the lawyers will defend you in the USCCA. If you tell your dog, go get him, boy, sig him, then you're liable. If the dog just bites them because it's protecting its house, it's not really liable. A dog is supposed to do that. That's what they do, right? So we've got a lot of things here, a lot of iffies, a lot of things. Should I shoot? Should I not? What, who provoked the thing, to begin with? Who was the aggressor? Who wasn't? A lot of things come into play here, but we really need to know what we're doing. Forcible entry is really one of these things. So there's different things that we need to talk about, robbery versus not robbery, felonies, forcible felonies, treason, first degree murder, all these things, aggravated crime, sexual assault, criminal assault, robbery, burglary, residential burglary, kidnapping, aggravated arson versus arson. All these things are different, resulting in great bodily harm or disfigurement, or the things that we just talked about. Don't want to get you guys confused as to all of these things. Understanding there is a difference in the law. There is difference in use of weapons, unlawful use of weapons. There's all sorts of things that we will go into, and other maybe other videos or something like that. Okay, just wanted to give you this and kind of give you a little more education, a little more to throw on, and a reminder about all this stuff. Just don't go shooting people. Supposed to shoot them to stop them, not kill them. But if they're in your house, do you know what I mean? I don't know. That could be that generally ends really bad. Home invasions end bad. So sexual assault and murder. So now that we have the Safety Act in place, which is terrible for us, right? Absolutely terrible. We really need to have the law on our side as far as attorneys, because the criminals have a lot of rights, a whole bunch of rights written in the law by our governor. So not so good, not good for us, not good for the police even. Okay, thanks guys, appreciate it. We'll do more videos and a little more training, and we'll just keep going and going and going. Any questions you ever have, 708-267-6000. You know my number. I should be in your number. And Bobby from the USCCA. I hope you remember, especially if you're carrying. I know it's little money, $25, $29, whatever it is a month, but you can lose everything, because a judge or jury doesn't see it your way, because you can't afford proper representation. Look, I'm not trying to make you spend money. You know that. You know where I am in life and who I am. I just want to help you. And sorry, but that's the way it goes. I wouldn't have you drive a motorcycle without insurance. That's just not real smart. If something happens, and it could, for sure, you're in trouble. I don't want you to ever be in trouble. I don't want your family to ever be in trouble. Hey, this is Steve. Contact me whenever. You've got my number. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Sorry for rambling. Just want to teach you.